July 27th, 1991. A mother named Claudine Blanchard gives birth to her child with her husband Rod Blanchard. The baby girl is named Gypsy Rose, since Dee Dee liked the name Gypsy, and Rose because Rod was a huge fan of Guns N' Roses. Now as time passes, he ultimately decides to divorce Dee Dee and remarries, which consequently meant that he was barely getting involved in Gypsy's life. However, it seemed that Gypsy Rose was a perfectly happy and healthy baby. That is until 3 months later, when her health issues started appearing. Issues such as sleep apnea, an undiscovered chromosomal disorder, and muscular dystrophy. Soon, at the age of 8 years old, she's involved in a motorcycle accident with her grandfather, which lands her in a wheelchair. Now the two are known for being a symbol of hope and resilience in the town of Chack Bay, Louisiana. Sadly, her disabilities got so severe that Dee Dee homeschooled Gypsy, where she was isolated from the rest of the town. Now during this time, she develops seizures, and even worse, the two get stuck in Hurricane Katrina. With the two being homeless, they are rescued and moved to Dee Dee's hometown in Springfield, Missouri. There, the story of a single mom raising a daughter with disabilities being forced to escape the damage caused by Hurricane Katrina gains widespread attention. Now the entire community shares their empathy with Gypsy and applaud Dee Dee for her resilience. Disability payments, donations, and child support from Rod Blanchard allowed the two to take back their lives and buy a home in Missouri. Gypsy and Dee Dee are offered free flights to meet doctors at the acclaimed Children's Mercy Hospital, free trips to Disneyland, with the Make-A-Wish Foundation giving them backstage passes to meet famous singer Miranda Lambert. Now even though Gypsy receives immense support from the community of Springfield, the young girl is carefully protected by her mother, who seems to be the only person that she can trust. Now Gypsy's only experienced one brief romantic relationship in which Dee Dee did not approve of. Due to this, she secretly visits a dating website for single Christians. Once she makes a profile, she quickly meets someone named Nick Godejohn. He's a boy who's about the same age as Gypsy, from Wisconsin. Just like Gypsy, he has various learning challenges, with his social skills not being fully developed. Gypsy keeps the relationship a secret from her mother, but can't help but tell her neighbor Aaliyah, who's like an older sister to her. She says that she and Nick are getting married soon, and that she has already picked the names for her future children. Now Aaliyah's trying to explain to Gypsy that this isn't really the best idea since she's already too young and Nick could be a potential sexual predator. Sadly, however, she doesn't listen. Now once the relationship progresses a year later, the two finally arrange to meet in person. Nick flies over to Springfield where the two secretly meet and they make a plan together. Now later in 2015, Nick flies back to Missouri, arriving at Gypsy and Dee Dee's house, while they're away at an appointment. Now once the two return late at night, Dee Dee goes to bed and Gypsy sneaks Nick into the house. Gypsy then makes her way into the bathroom, where she hears screams calling her name. Now what's happening is that Nick is viciously attacking her mother. He proceeds to stab Dee Dee in the back 17 times and posts the following status update to Dee Dee's Facebook page. Now at first, people are speculating that her Facebook page has been hacked, until another post was made minutes later. Now, since I won't be able to say the whole thing, all I can really say is he stabbed Dee Dee and sexually assaulted Gypsy later on. Now around this time, their neighbors suspect that something is not right and call in for a wellness check. Now once they arrive, however, Dee Dee is rolled out on a stretcher with a white sheet over her body with Gypsy going missing. Later on, police trace the IP address of the person who made the Facebook post to a household in Big Bend, Wisconsin. And to no one's surprise, it's the home of Gypsy's boyfriend, Nick Godejohn. Authorities then send a SWAT team into the premises, and they take both Nick and Gypsy into custody. But you're probably thinking, why Gypsy's being taken into custody since her mother was just murdered, making her the victim? However, as it turns out, Gypsy was the one who handed Nick the knife that was used to kill her own mother. However, things are not what they seem. Since Gypsy's birth, Dee Dee has just been faking medical conditions, and when a doctor doesn't believe her, she just simply goes to another doctor. Gypsy undergoes countless surgeries for made-up conditions, or ones that came up from Dee Dee's manipulation. Gypsy actually does not need a wheelchair, she can walk just fine. Dee Dee also lies to her about her age, and whenever Gypsy opposes any of her claims, she suffers physical and mental torture. Dee Dee even went as far as shaving off Gypsy's hair to mimic chemotherapy treatment, another case of Munchausen by proxy. Meanwhile, her boyfriend Nick is being sentenced to life in prison for first-degree murder. Now, regardless of everything that Gypsy has gone through, she's convicted of second-degree murder and receives a 10-year sentence. She goes on to state that in prison, she's felt more freedom compared to her living with her own mother because now she can finally live like a normal woman.